Another tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to explain how do I create this login form, actually this login form and this line, how do I add this picture, and how did I create this frame. I will explain all of these including the source code. I will explain all the things line by line, so stay tuned with us and I will explain. Here actually I create this login form, and in this login form if someone do not enter username and password and press the login form show, so the system show the user show him that you must type your username and password. So you can see, please type your username or password. So if I suppose I'm going to add the wrong password and the wrong username and the wrong password, so when I press login it shows me that your username or password is not correct. And if I write the real name or the username, for example Jabbar, and the password is everything is correct. Now if I press a login, so it brings me to another page. It means I did link this page with that login form. I will explain it, how did I do this and how did I create this. I will explain this line by line. Okay, now if I suppose another username I add, for example abit password 1, and if I press the login, so it brings me here and I actually link that username to another page. Okay, now if I press nothing, as you see that the MPD, if I press nothing, so it shows me this message. And if I press cancel button, actually if I press cancel button, it actually closed the program. It closed the program. You can see it closed the program if I press the cancel button. So I'm coming again and I explain all the things. If I click forgot password, it means if you forgot your password and want to reset your password, you can do that by clicking forgot password. You can actually, if you forget the password, you can it brings you to another page and you can actually reset your password. Suppose you can reset your password, it brings you to this page. Okay, again I'm going to explain this. Now this star, I put this star beside the input text in order the user understand that these fields must be filled. It means the MPD, the system, will not allow you without filling this form. Okay, now I'm going to explain you about the source code. Here is the source code of that. So you can see I use in this for this login form PHP, HTML, CSS and JavaScript. I will explain all of these line by line. But before I explain the JavaScript side and CSS side, let me show you the HTML side. Here is the HTML side. You can see the body. So this is the HTML side. You can see the image that I had, image source equal to, this is the name of my image. You can see here, this is the name of my image. Okay, now I use pre because in order to adjust my code, and I use div. Actually the div tag is used as a container for HTML element. Remember this, that whenever you want to create a form, you always use div for the manageability. Div is a container and it actually show the best form for you. So you can see this actually a div. This form is actually in a div. Okay, now I use caption for this login form. You can see I use here the caption tag and font size is there. I use two input I use two inputs here, type text and the other input type here the password. Why the password? Because it show me that dot, not clearly the text. Okay, now this ID, I use this ID because of the in JavaScript in order to this input, to access this input we need an ID in order to access it. In order to access it, I will explain it in JavaScript. Okay, now this span I use, you can see these are the span, these stars are the span, and I this star are actually the span. What is span? A span is used to mark up a part of text. It actually mark a part of text for us. Okay, now I use the BR. Why use the BR? Means break. Here is a break, you know. If I don't use BR, it show me beside each other. It means the password is show beside this username, which is not adjustment or sort is not good. So input type button value login on click Jabbar. It means that input type button, I use here button, you can see login, the value of this is login, and on click, when I unclick for example Jabbar, this is the function name, I will explain it above. And input type button value cancel, on click cancel means whenever I cancel the button, this cancel button, it close our system. Now href, it means this is our link, login form.html. Whenever I click the forgot password, actually this forgot password is a link through this href to this actually login form.html. Okay, now I'll explain. So this whenever I click this password, this forgot password, it brings me to this login page. Okay, now I'm going to explain the JavaScript. This is the title, this is our title, you can see this is a login form, this is the title, style type text, the CSS, this is the span. Actually I explain it in HTML code that the color is red, you can see the color of the span, our span is red, this is star, and the font size is 20. The font size is 20. You can make it bigger or smaller according to your requirement. So this is all about the CSS. Okay, now here the JavaScript. In JavaScript I'm going to explain here. Function is actually from what's function? Function is a set of statements that perform a specific task. Okay, whenever I press whenever I click the cancel button, it closes this window.close for form.html. It means that whenever I click the cancel button, close the form HTML. This is close this. Okay, close this this form whenever I click this, the cancel button. Function Jabbar, as I said that I actually named this Jabbar in HTML, and here on click Jabbar. Okay, in the HTML site, and then whenever function Jabbar, and then var username, I use two variable user and password, and then equal to document dot get element by ID u1 p1. It means user 1 password 1. Okay, now the variable for this is user and the other variable for this is this. It means whenever I must access this HTML code through this element, get element by ID. Get element by ID actually returns an element object. It must be unique so we can access that object quickly. Okay, and then here if user, it means if this user equal to Jabbar, and here I use and password equal to 123 window.open table.html. It means that whenever someone type Jabbar 123, carry him or bring another page. Okay, carry him to this table.html. As you see that whenever I type here Jabbar 123, so it carry me to another page. Okay, now else if user, it's a condition. Okay, it's a condition. If else if this condition, and it's too easy. Else if user equal to object and password must be, and password equal to 123 window dot open first dot html. It means that whenever someone whenever someone type obit and the password 123, someone type obit and the username obit and password 123, it carries him or the another page will be open. For example, you can see that whenever I click here obit, okay, obit and password 123, it actually bring him to this page because I linked this. You can actually, it's just a learning for learning purpose. You can link it for another page according to your requirement. Okay, now else if user type, for example 123, because the name is not 123, it means the username is not in number, so, and the password, for example this, so alert we did not recognize. Okay, else if user equal to nothing, it means that if the user leave the username and password empty, so alert please type your name or password. Okay, else alert your username or password is not correct. Okay, it means that if these condition are not true, if this condition are not true, show the else condition. It means when these above are not filled or didn't type, so show this, else alert your username and password is not correct. For example, if I suppose I'm clicking here, for example Arfan password, because this username is not available in our site or not signed up to the site, so if I press login, so that the username password is not correct. Again, I'm going to explain this script is closed. It means the JavaScript all explained. I hope you understand this JavaScript site. So if you didn't understand, please leave me a comment a comment, so I will try my best in order to respond to each of this. And here this is style. Actually, you see the style type text CSS. This is our CSS section. In this I use div. As I said, div is a container. In this container you can actually make good frame, as you see here. As you see, this is actually actually this is in the div, inside the div I use this frame. Here you can see the weight of this frame is, the weight is 350, and the height of this frames you see 220. Border is red. You can see this border are actually those silver line is border. Box shadow is white. You can see it whenever I go there, it show me this. And margin auto top, margin top 0, border reduces, and red border reduces this beautiful. If I press here, for example suppose 1, and save this, if I refresh my page, you see the border radius is changed. So that is the purpose of the border radius. And background color is white. You can make it, because the background color is white, you can make it silver actually. See, now our border the border color has changed. Now div over, it means that whenever I go to cursor, it means the mouse on the div, which is this form, the color of that gets what? Silver. Okay, you see the color of that div silver. Behind that is a shadow, and that shadow is silver. You can make it, for example, red. Okay, so see, now if you can see it becomes red. HR color silver, you can see this is our HR1. The color is silver. Okay, the text align is center, the text shadow is black, border radius is 100. Okay, now B font size is font size H1 over. Whenever H1 is this, actually when H1 dot over background color red, font size 405 sorry 45. It means that background color is red, gets red, and font size when I put